I'm here with Brad Henderson, who leads the Cutting the Green Tape program at our California Department of Fish and Wildlife. And he is a key leader in our effort to cut the green tape, which is to help environmental restoration projects happen more quickly and cost effectively across the state. Now, Brad, we know that climate change is accelerating. We know that impacts communities, but also our fish and wildlife and our natural places. And so cutting the green tape is all about helping good environmental things happen more quickly, given all the threats that we face. So talk a little bit about your role leading this program. What is the Cutting the Green Tape program?
Yeah, the Cutting the Green Tape program for CDFW is a statewide team. We have staff in headquarters, and that's where I am, and I help lead up that effort, as well as staff embedded in most of our regions across the state. And so this program was designed and set up to increase pace and scale. And that is exactly what we try to do. Our focus is on both projects, getting those done, problem solving, as well as creating new tools that will better serve restoration projects. And as you know, a lot of our permitting tools were really in response to impacts associated with development. They were not necessarily set up in such a way that they really meet the needs of restoration projects.
Right, so we almost have like a one-size-fits-all permitting process, not only at Fish and Wildlife, but across the board, state and federal agencies. And so now this is an evolution where we're saying actually these environmental restoration projects, these focused on environmental goods, probably deserve a different process than development that could have negative impacts on the environment.
Yeah, they definitely do, and that's something that we're learning. We're really listening to the practitioners, the folks that are out doing the work, the public agencies, the RCDs, nonprofits, and we're hearing from them, what kind of issues, what kinds of problems they run into in getting their projects permitted, and we've heard all kinds of things. So we're really focusing on making a simpler process, less costly, faster, but maintaining that high level of environmental protection.
Right.
And indeed, those projects, really do improve the environment in and of themselves as well.
Right. Give me an example of a success story with the Cutting the Green Tape program.
Well, there are quite a few, but I'm going to talk about one that's really close to home for me. I grew up in Los Angeles, and the Los Angeles River was always kind of a joke. And I really have to hand it to the dedicated people who for decades have been trying to restore the Los Angeles River. And we were lucky enough to get involved in the new statutory exemption, or SERP, CEQA exemption. And this is, we were contacted by the city of Los Angeles, and we were able to work with them to get a SERP concurrence from our director, Chuck Bonham, which is the first phase of the Los Angeles River project that looks like it's going to move forward.
Wow.
And what's amazing about that for me is that that is a project that is focused on steelhead trout, an anadromous species that's been lost from that basin, from that watershed for many decades.
Wow, that's incredible. So you mentioned this CEQA exemption that the legislature authorized, and it's all about allowing you all to take a careful look at those projects with strong environmental benefit and to reduce the process and ultimately exempt CEQA. How is that being applied?
Yeah, it has been amazing, and seeing the interest across the state in all kinds of habitats. And so basically the way that it works is that the public agency that is the CEQA lead agency for a project can take a look at the SERP criteria, the statutory exemption criteria, which is science-based, has to have climate resiliency built into the project, biodiversity benefits, and a number of other things. And they will do a quick assessment of whether or not that project fits those criteria. They then come to my team, and we work with them in development of their determinations. Those determinations then are submitted officially to our director, and we help prepare concurrences for those lead agency determinations. And so this process, I estimate it's about 5, maybe 10% of the level of effort of a normal CEQA process.
Wow.
And we're hearing so far for completed concurrences, we're getting numbers like $500,000 saved, 6 months, 2 years saved, those kinds of things. And that's really what's gratifying for us, is to see that there's real savings in time and dollars, and then the time can be used to develop a new restoration project, and those dollars can be used to fund a new restoration project.
Yeah, I mean, these topics and permitting is such a wonky issue, but at the end of the day, it's about delivering more environmental benefit with the funding that we have and doing it more quickly given all the stressors, including climate change. Have you quantified the benefits of cutting the green tape or wrapped up what this looks like?
We have, and I, you know, and again, it's time and money saved. Really, is one of the ways that we're quantifying it. But we're going to take another look as well at kind of the spatial diversity of restoration and some of the species that are really benefiting from this. And that's something, as these projects get completed, we're going to be taking a much closer look at in the future.
Wow. Well, there's a couple of things that we're really passionate about. One is obviously preserving this incredible biodiversity that we have. Another is helping good things happen more quickly and cost effectively across the state. And this Cutting the Green tape does both. So huge thanks for your leadership. Please thank the folks that you work with. I'm very thankful to Director Chuck Bonham for putting this all in place. And while we're making progress, of course, there's a lot more to get done.
There's so much more to get done, and we can't be complacent. We need to keep pushing and keep moving. And I'll just say that the support from leadership has been amazing. And we have staff out on the ground. A lot of them are young and new to the department and haven't worked in permitting that long, and it is an amazing group. So,
wow.
You know, come out and see us
keep
sometime.
Keep up the great work,
All right.
Brad.
Thanks so much, Wade.
Thank you so much.